having the benefit of reliving it on set was a really, honestly, a therapeutic experience. I know when I finished reading the script early on, for me, it felt like a culmination of who my dad was.
June 25th, 2009. The whole world stopped breathing. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was gone. Millions of fans flooded the streets crying. Candles lit up every city on Earth. The planet mourned together like never before. But there was one person who cried harder than all of them combined, a little boy who had just lost his entire world. That boy was Prince Michael Jackson, the eldest son of the greatest entertainer who ever lived. Now, 15 years later, the brand new cinematic masterpiece, Michael, has exploded onto the big screen. It's shattering every single box office record in its opening weekend, proving once again that the people never stopped loving the king. And right in the middle of all this celebration, Prince finally sat down. Not for another regular interview, but for something much deeper and way more personal. Today, I'm taking you inside Prince Jackson's most raw and honest story yet. For the very first time, he's opening his heart and revealing the private, never-before-shared secrets from his life after his father's death. From the insane moment when Michael would shut down entire toy stores just so his 3 kids could shop in total privacy, to the emotional day on set when Prince looked at his cousin Jafar in full hair, makeup, and costume. And for one split second, he truly believed his dad was standing right there in front of him again, almost bringing him to tears on the spot. This is a son's real, honest, and deeply personal confession, straight from the heart of someone who's still healing even today. And the secrets he's about to share, they cut even deeper and hurt even more than you could ever imagine. So if you're ready, hit subscribe, Black Legend. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The world lost its king. Prince lost his father. First, let's go back to February 13th, 1997. A quiet room in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. The world outside was buzzing with the usual noise of Hollywood, but inside, something magical was happening. Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., the boy the world would come to know simply as Prince, took his first breath. Born to Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe, Prince entered this life already carrying the weight of a last name that echoed across continents. From the very beginning, his father made one thing crystal clear: his children would be protected. No cameras, no flashing lights, no prying eyes. Michael raised Prince, along with his sister Paris and later his brother Blanket, behind the tall iron gates of Neverland Ranch and Havenhurst. Those early years were like something out of a fairy tale only Michael could create. Imagine endless acres of rolling green hills, private amusement parks, giraffes wandering the grounds, and a father who turned every ordinary moment into pure magic. Prince and his siblings didn't just live in Neverland, they lived inside their father's imagination. Michael would take them on long walks through the forests, play hide and seek until the sun went down, and fill their nights with stories, laughter, and music that seemed to float on the evening breeze. For young Prince, Michael wasn't the king of pop. He was simply Dad, the man who taught him how to ride bikes, who snuck him ice cream after bedtime, and who whispered, "I love you more than anything in this world." It was a childhood wrapped in love, but also in shadows. Because even then, Prince understood on some level that his father belonged to the world. Then came June 25th, 2009. Prince was only 12 years old, just a boy on the edge of becoming a teenager. That warm California evening, the phone calls started. The news hit like a thunderclap that shattered the sky. Michael Jackson was gone. The world stopped breathing. Fans poured into the streets of every city on Earth, lighting candles, crying, singing his songs under the moonlight. Headlines screamed, television screens glowed with tributes. The planet mourned as one. But for Prince, it wasn't the world that had lost its king. It was a son who had lost his father. In that raw, heartbreaking moment, Prince later shared in his own quiet words, "Every day I miss him. The world stopped when my dad died. And here's where the pain cuts even deeper. From the time he was a little boy, Prince had already learned what it meant to share his father with the world. Michael's face was on posters in bedrooms across the globe. His voice filled stadiums. His every move made front-page news. Prince grew up knowing that when he wanted his dad's attention, millions of others wanted it too. But after that tragic June day, the feeling multiplied 1,000 times over. Now, the entire planet claimed Michael as their own. Documentaries, books, tributes, and memorials flooded every corner of life. Prince watched as strangers cried for the man he called Dad. He saw the world celebrate a legend, while he quietly carried the unbearable ache of a child who just wanted one more hug, one more laugh, one more walk through the garden with the only father he had ever known. The boy who once ran freely through Neverland now had to grow up in the spotlight of grief. Every birthday, every holiday, every quiet night, the absence was there. The world kept spinning, but for Prince, something inside had simply stopped. You try to imagine it for a second. Your father is the most famous person who ever lived. When he passes, the entire planet pauses to mourn him. Cities go dark. Songs play on repeat. Millions post memories. And you? You're just a 12-year-old boy standing in the middle of all that noise, wishing for the one thing no one could give you back. A simple embrace from the man who meant everything. That ache never really left, but here's the beautiful, painful truth. That same deep wound became the very thing that would one day push Prince forward in ways no one could have predicted. Because even in the darkest chapter of his life, Prince Michael Jackson refused to let his father's light fade away. And that decision would change everything. Chapter 2. The day Prince saw his father come back to life. Fast forward to 2024. 15 long years had passed since that heartbreaking June night in 2009. Prince Michael Jackson Jr. was no longer the quiet 12-year-old boy the world remembered. Now, 28 years old, tall, thoughtful, and carrying the quiet strength of a man who had grown up too fast, Prince had stepped into a role few could ever imagine. Executive producer of the biggest Michael Jackson biopic ever made. Every single day, he was there, on set, in the makeup trailer, behind the monitors, walking through the recreated hallways of Havenhurst. While the rest of the cast and crew went home at night, Prince stayed. He wasn't just overseeing a movie. He was guarding his father's legacy with the same fierce love Michael once showed him. This wasn't Hollywood business for Prince. This was personal. This was family. The production had taken years to come together. Director Graham King, the cast, and the entire crew were determined to get every detail right. But no amount of preparation could prepare Prince for the moment that would stop his heart cold. It happened during one of the very first camera tests. The lights were low. The set was quiet. Prince stood just off to the side, arms crossed, trying to stay calm. Then Jafar Jackson, his own cousin, stepped out of the makeup trailer. The transformation was complete. Same skin tone, same delicate bone structure, same iconic curls, perfectly styled. The red military jacket, the single white glove, the posture, the subtle tilt of the head, everything. For one frozen split second, Prince couldn't breathe. His mind refused to accept what his eyes were seeing. In that moment, his father was standing right there in front of him again. Prince later described it with a voice that still caught in his throat. In that split second, my dad was standing right there in front of me. The emotion hit him like a wave. He had to look away for a second just to steady himself. Because for the first time in 15 years, the man he missed every single day felt alive again. But that wasn't even the only time the past came rushing back. Weeks earlier, producer Graham King had played Prince an audio clip. It was Michael Jackson's voice, soft, high-pitched, unmistakably familiar, giving notes about a scene. Prince listened, eyes widening. He knew that voice better than anyone. It was his dad. It had to be. Until Graham smiled and said, "That wasn't Michael. That was Jafar. No AI, no editing tricks. Just Jafar practicing for months, studying every interview, every home video, every late-night conversation Michael ever had with his children. Prince was stunned. He had always believed in his cousin's talent, but this was something else entirely. Later, Prince opened up with raw honesty. "I never thought Jafar could do it to that level. He exceeded all of our expectations." Jafar didn't just act like Michael. He disappeared into him. He trained relentlessly, sometimes dancing alone at Havenhurst until sweat poured down his face, long after the camera stopped rolling. He carried the spirit of the King of Pop in every step, every gesture, every quiet moment between takes. Oh, bass. And Prince was there to witness all of it. Day after day on set, Prince watched his family's story come to life in the most intimate way possible. He walked the same driveway he once ran down as a child. He stood in the same rooms where his father once played with him and his siblings. Every corner of the set brought back memories that had been locked away for years. At 28 years old, Prince had already built his own path. He was deeply involved with his Heal LA Foundation, spending his days creating programs for underprivileged kids, cooking classes, fitness clinics, mental health workshops, career days. He had become the man his father always hoped he would be, kind, grounded, and determined to use the Jackson name for good. But making this film forced him to step back into the past in a way he never had before. And in doing so, something unexpected happened. The pain he had carried for 15 years began to shift. Every time he saw Jafar transform, every time he heard that familiar voice, every time the cameras captured a moment that felt pulled straight from his childhood, Prince wasn't just producing a movie, he was healing. This wasn't just cinema anymore. This was medicine for a broken heart. This was therapy for an entire family that had been grieving in public for a decade and a half. Prince wasn't only telling his father's story to the world, he was finally allowing himself to feel it all over again, and in the safest, most beautiful way possible. The wounds that had stayed open since he was 12 years old finally started to close, one frame at a time. Prince had gone into this project expecting to honor his father. What he didn't expect was that the film would end up honoring the little boy inside him too. The boy who just wanted his dad back, even if it was only on a screen. But as powerful as filming was, watching the finished movie turned out to be an even deeper emotional journey. And Prince has already seen it 14 times. But here's the thing, watching the finished film hit him even harder than being on set. And the reason why will stay with you long after this chapter ends. Chapter 3, 14 Times and the Secrets That Kept Coming Back. After production wrapped in late 2024, Prince Michael Jackson sat down to watch the finished cut of the film Michael for the first time. He watched it once in a private screening room. Then he watched it again a few days later. When the movie officially opened in theaters in early 2025, Prince had already seen it several times. By the time of this interview, he had watched the full film 14 times. Each time he pressed play, he told the host he still found something new. Prince had been on set every single day during the entire filming schedule in 2024. As executive producer, he arrived early each morning and stayed late into the night. He reviewed the script page by page before every take. He watched every single shot being recorded on multiple cameras. He personally approved the lighting setups, the exact camera angles, the period-accurate costumes, and every detail of the choreography. By the end of production, Prince knew the movie inside and out. He knew exactly what was coming in every scene, every transition, and every musical cue. Yet when the final edited version played from start to finish in the theater, details he had never noticed before kept appearing on the screen. The post-production team spent months piecing the film together in the editing bay. They layered in color grading, sound design, subtle background elements, and precise timing adjustments that transformed the raw footage into a finished cinematic experience. Small gestures that Prince had stood right next to during filming suddenly carried new emotional weight once everything was cut together. A quick glance from Jafar in the middle of a dance sequence, the exact second a music cue swelled, the way natural light fell across the recreated rooms of Havenhurst. All of these moments took on deeper meaning in the final cut. One specific example stood out to Prince every single time he watched. In the studio scene for Wanna Be Startin' Something, the young Michael sits at a table covered with handwritten notes. The camera slowly pans across the scattered papers. In the background, almost easy to miss unless you are looking for it, one of Michael Jackson's actual handwritten notes from the real 1982 recording sessions appears on screen. The note reads the familiar lyrics, "Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa." Prince had seen the prop department prepare those papers during filming, but in the finished edit, the way the note was framed and lit made it feel like a direct message from his father. He told Big Boy during the interview, "I was there every day on set, so I knew what we filmed and I knew the shots and the scenes. But when it all comes together through post-production, I noticed more nuances. I was like, oh, I guess I saw him do that, but I didn't notice how important that was." Even though Prince knew the entire script and had lived through the making of every frame, the completed film still moved him to tears. He explained it plainly. "I knew the entire script. I knew every single shot, but when it all came together, I still cried." The editing process had done something Prince never expected. It turned the movie from a collection of carefully planned scenes into a living, breathing recreation of his childhood. Details that felt ordinary on set suddenly felt sacred on the big screen. Each viewing revealed another layer he had missed the time before, pulling him deeper into memories he thought he already knew completely. He explained it clearly in the interview. "I was there every day on set, so I knew what we filmed and I knew the shots and the scenes. But when it all comes together through post-production, I notice more nuances. I'm like, oh, I guess I saw him do that, but I didn't notice how important that was." One moment that continued to stand out for him was the studio scene built around the song "Wanna Be Startin' Something." On screen, the young Michael sits at a table. Covered with handwritten notes, the camera slowly moves across the papers. In the background, almost easy to miss, one of the real notes Michael Jackson wrote years earlier appears on screen. During the interview, Big Boy asked him directly about that exact moment. Big Boy said, "When I'm watching the movie and you get to the part with Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa, and you see the little notes, is there a note that says something like, I'ma tell you one more time, I'm not gonna stop?" Prince answered, "I believe so. I don't write the lyrics, so I don't know for sure, but I believe it's Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. That's what I say, right?" Every time Prince watched the movie, his eyes went straight to that small piece of paper. It was not a prop created for the film. It was one of his father's actual handwritten notes from the recording sessions. Seeing it there, preserved on the big screen, hit him the same way each time. Even though he already knew every beat of the story, Prince said the finished film still moved him to tears. He told the host, "I knew the entire script. I knew every single shot. But when it all came together, I still cried." The movie was not just a story to him. It was his own life playing out in front of him. Each viewing gave him 2 hours and 10 minutes back with the father he lost on June 25, 2009. The recreated rooms of Havenhurst, the circular staircase that once led to his father's bedroom, the way Jafar's eyes softened exactly the way Michael's did when he looked at his children, all of it brought the past back in sharp detail. Prince was watching a movie about his own childhood. Each time he sat in the theater, whether alone or with family, he got to spend time with his father again. The pain of losing him at age 12 did not disappear. But the film gave him a new way to remember the man who raised him. The more Prince watched, the more he understood how the editing team had carefully placed real details from his father's life into every frame. Those details were there for the audience, but they meant something deeper to the son who had lived them. Prince did not watch the movie 14 times because he was checking for mistakes. He watched it because each time it played, he found another piece of his father that he had not fully seen before. And every single time the credits rolled, the same feeling stayed with him. The film had become more than a biography. It had become a bridge back to the years he still missed every single day. But the film set and the movie theater were only part of the story. Now we step away from the screens and return to the real life Prince lived with his father, the unbelievable moments that still feel like they came straight out of a fairy tale. Chapter 4. Unbelievable moments Prince lived with his father. After the movie theaters went dark and the final credits rolled for the 14th time, Prince Jackson began sharing stories that went far beyond the film. These were the private memories he carried from the years after his father's death in 2009. Moments that still feel almost impossible even to him now. One memory stood out as the most Michael thing he ever experienced. Sometime between 2003 and 2007, when Prince was between 6 and 10 years old, Michael decided to take his 3 children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, on a shopping trip. He chose one of the biggest toy stores in Los Angeles, F.A.O. Schwartz. Instead of walking in like any other family, Michael arranged for the entire store to be closed to the public. Staff locked the doors, covered the windows with cardboard and tape so no one could look inside, and turned the massive retail space over to just 3 kids. For hours, Prince, Paris, and Blanket had the run of the entire store. They rode the giant piano keyboard on the floor, climbed the displays, and picked out anything they wanted. Michael stood back and watched them play, smiling quietly. Prince later told the host with a small laugh, "I look back on it now and it's shutting down toy stores. I think that's just insane. For the 3 of us, that was normal growing up, but looking back and seeing it now, it's crazy." At the time, young Prince thought every father could close a toy store if he wanted. Only years later, as an adult, did he realize how rare and extravagant that moment really was. Another secret from the family's past came to light during the research for the film. Prince had heard stories for years about a giraffe living at Havenhurst, the family estate in Encino, California. He always assumed it was one of those tall tales the Jacksons told at family gatherings, the kind of story that sounds too wild to be true. Then, while digging through old archives and family photos for the movie, Prince saw the proof. An actual picture of a young giraffe named Jabbar standing on the grounds of Havenhurst in 1986. Michael had received the 6-month-old giraffe as a gift and kept it there temporarily before California officials required it to be moved. Prince shook his head in disbelief when he first saw the photo. "I thought it was a joke," he said. "Where are you going to fit a giraffe? It's such a big animal." But the image was real. Havenhurst, the same house where Prince spent many of his early years, had once been home to a living giraffe. That discovery helped Prince understand something deeper about his father. Michael bought Havenhurst in 1971, long before Prince was born. There, behind the tall gates, Michael quietly experimented with the ideas that would later become Neverland Ranch. He built a small theater, a recording studio, a toy display room, and miniature Disney-inspired elements across the property. Havenhurst was Michael's testing ground, the place where he first dreamed of creating a private world where children could feel safe, free, and full of wonder. Years later, he would expand that dream into the full Neverland Ranch in Santa Barbara County. But the most touching memories Prince shared were the simple, everyday ones. When the family stayed in the Middle East, Michael would take his children for long walks along quiet beaches at sunset. The sand was warm under their feet, the waves gentle, and for a few hours there were no bodyguards, no cameras, and no expectations. Michael would talk softly with his kids, asking about their dreams and telling them stories. In Ireland, during one of the family's stays in the countryside, they walked through thick green forests. Prince, Paris, and Blanket would play tag and hide and seek among the tall trees, laughing and running until they were out of breath. Michael joined in, hiding behind ancient oaks and pretending to be surprised when the children found him. Those walks were never planned as grand events. They were just a father spending quiet time with his children, giving them the normal childhood experiences he never had himself. When I hear Prince describe these moments, I am reminded of something important. Behind all the spotlights, the sold-out stadiums, and the legendary status, Michael Jackson was first and foremost a father who desperately wanted his children to feel like normal kids. He shut down toy stores not to show off his fame, but to give his children a few hours where they didn't have to worry about the outside world. He kept a giraffe on the family property and built little theaters at Havenhurst because he believed children deserved magic every single day. He took them on beach walks and forest adventures because he knew the simple things, sand between toes, laughter echoing through trees, were the moments that truly mattered. That is, the Michael Jackson Prince wants the world to remember, not just the king of pop, but the dad who made the impossible feel ordinary for his kids. And all of those private, unbelievable secrets. The closed toy stores, the giraffe on the lawn, the quiet walks on foreign beaches and in Irish forests. Prince no longer keeps to himself. He brings them into the light now, sharing them through the film and in conversations like this one. In doing so, he is healing his own heart and offering the same healing to millions of fans who also lost their hero on June 25, 2009. He is turning personal pain into something the whole world can hold on to. Proof that even the most famous man on earth was, at his core, a loving father who simply wanted his children to be happy. Chapter 5. Heal L.A. and the final message from Prince. In the heart of Northeast Los Angeles, on a bright weekday morning in early 2026, Prince Jackson walked through the colorful gates of Loretto Street Elementary School. The hallways echoed with the laughter of third and fourth graders. For the 6th straight year, Prince and his Heal LA Foundation had turned this modest public school into a place of real hope for kids who needed it most. Children from low-income families, many facing challenges at home, some living with disabilities, and all of them hungry for opportunities most kids take for granted. Heal LA was never just a charity on paper. Prince co-founded it with his partner John Muto to honor the humanitarian side of his father that the world rarely saw. Michael Jackson visited hospitals, orphanages, and burn units around the globe, often in secret. Prince took that same quiet compassion and made it local, focused, and consistent. The foundation runs 4 year-round programs at Loretto Street Elementary, a virtual cooking class with Hard Rock Cafe, a power-up fitness clinic that gets kids moving and building confidence, the SMILE program, offering mindfulness, yoga, and meditation to support mental health, and an annual career day that brings real-world role models directly into the classroom. On this particular career day, Prince brought something extra special, the behind-the-scenes magic from the movie Michael. Oscar-winning makeup artist Bill Corso, who created the transformative look for Jafar Jackson in the film, stepped into the classroom with his professional kit. The kids, many of them 10 years old, sat wide-eyed as Corso opened his case of colors, prosthetics, and brushes. Corso told them his own story. At just 16 years old, his very first paid makeup job was recreating the zombies from Michael Jackson's Thriller video for a high school talent show. Now, decades later, he had worked on the big screen story of the same man. He looked at Prince standing quietly at the back of the room and smiled. "Working with Prince on this movie about his dad has brought my career full circle," he said. Then he let the children try it themselves. Soon the classroom filled with giggles as kids carefully painted fake scars, zombie makeup, and superhero effects on each other's faces. One little girl, who rarely spoke in class, proudly showed Prince her creation, a sparkling silver glove painted on her hand. Prince knelt down, gave her a fist bump, and told her she looked just like her favorite star. For a few hours, these children weren't thinking about the struggles waiting for them outside the school gates. They were dreaming, creating, and believing that anything was possible. Later that same day, Prince stood in front of the entire group and spoke from the heart. His voice was calm but full of purpose. He told the students that his father had always believed in using his platform to lift others up. Then he shared the message he wanted every person watching the film Michael to hear. "I hope this movie will inspire people to chase their dreams, just like my father did. He started with nothing but talent and heart, and he changed the world. If he could do it, so can you." When I watch Prince in moments like this, surrounded by kids who light up the second he walks in, I see something powerful. Prince is not simply Michael Jackson's son carrying a famous last name. He has become the living continuation of his father's greatest legacy, the quiet, relentless love for children who need someone to believe in them. Michael healed through music and surprise visits to hospitals. Prince heals through programs that run every week, year after year, right in the neighborhoods that need it most. He brings movie stars and makeup artists into ordinary classrooms so these kids can see that magic is real and that they are part of it. In the final moments of his conversation with Big Boy, Prince looked straight into the camera and spoke directly to the fans who had supported his family for decades. His words were simple, sincere, and full of the same gentle hope his father once carried. "I'm eternally grateful for all of your love and support throughout the years and the continued support. I hope that the film makes you guys happy and proud. I know it does for me." And that is the most beautiful part of Prince Jackson's journey. He did not just make a movie to remember his father. He is building a life that keeps his father's compassion alive, one child, one classroom, one dream at a time. Through Heal LA and through the film Michael, Prince has shown the world that the King of Pop's heart still beats strong, not in spotlights or stadiums, but in the quiet, everyday acts of kindness that change young lives forever. From the private memories only a son could share to the foundation that keeps Michael's heart beating in the real world, Prince has shown us what real love and legacy look like. If this story moved you even a little, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What does Michael Jackson's legacy mean to you today? Your voice matters here.